Good morning.
Good morning.
Oke, Mbak Rindang sudah di sini, Mbak Rindang?
Sudah.
Oke, coba kita cek soundnya dulu ya, Mbak Rindang ya.
Oke.
Disapa dulu adik-adiknya.
Halo teman-teman semuanya.
Oh, kurang jelas ya.
Apa sih?
Itunya
jelas,
suaranya belum kedengeran.
Coba kamu suara terdekat di mic-nya.
Gimana?
Coba.
Halo? Halo?
Udah kedengeran?
Udah jelas belum? Halo?
Mau bikin pisang kah? Ini jangan taruh di anu sudah.
Oke, sudah ya.
Asko.
Oke. Baik.
Melekat.
Mbak Arda udah datang belum ya?
Halo?
Oke.
Kelihatan Bu.
Oke. Okay, so we'll start. Okay, before we start this online seminar, I would like to inform you that today's seminar format is actually not the ordinary seminar, but it's kind of talk show. So you are welcome to raise questions anytime. You can click raise hand in the feature of your Zoom, or maybe you can just talk by turn on your mute. And also you can send us your questions through chat. So you can send questions at any time, so you don't have to wait until our talk is over. Yet we will still give you opportunities like for 15 or 20 minutes to ask questions before we close the online seminar. But in the meantime, you can just send us your questions and then we will discuss. Okay, good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, the Honorable Head of English Department, Mr. Widianto PhD, the Honorable all lecturers, and also all speakers and students. So good morning and welcome to our online seminar. This is the second seminar that we had. Yesterday we also had another seminar with Ibu Darosih and also Dr. Gananda Laksa, and today we have our alumni, Mbak Rindang, also Mbak Arda. Okay, so before we start today online seminar, we would like to invite our head of department, Mr. Widianto PhD, to give the welcoming remark. Please, Pak Widi.
Okay, thank you, Bukir. Ya. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I'd like to thank to Miss Ibu Rindang ya, Ibu apa Mbak ya?
Mbak.
Mbak ya, Mbak Rindang
Mbak aja,
Tirta Fariski.
Iya.
Okay, I was thinking that Rindang Fariski because Bukir give me the name Rindang Fariski. I thought it was a male and
Yeah.
he must be someone, but
I get that a lot actually.
Yeah. Okay, and also I was also glad that I can see Bu Girindra Putri, because we have two Girindra Putri. Yeah. This is very special webinar because we have two Girindra and we have two Girindra and we have two alumni of our department. Just welcome home because it was your home and should be still your home now, Bu Mbak Rindang and Mbak Girindra. And I'd like to say thank you for the opportunity that you are able to share your experience, your many achievement that I have seen from your CV, that you are both have so many I can just say excellent achievements. Yeah. Okay. So good. Welcome all students of English department from literatures, English literature study program and English education. And these two presenters are your senior, your sisters. I think I never seen you in a class because when you entered the department, I was just gone to what is it for my doctoral degree, and when you're finished, I haven't finished yet. Okay, at the time I was still in my university. Okay, yeah. First, Mbak Rindang Berta Fariski. You're from English literature, right?
Yes, I
Yeah,
graduated
okay.
from English literature in 2015.
Okay. So, hello students from literature. This is your, what is it? Your senior. Maybe you should be you should be proud of your your senior. And then Bu Kirinda also. I think in the same year you enter and you finish, right?
Yeah.
Bu Kirinda finished start in 2011 and finished in 2015. Yeah. And then Bu Mbak Rindang continued their study in University of Bristol, United Kingdom, in 2018. Yeah, for MA in Comparative Literature and Culture. Okay, while Mbak Gir continued her study also in UK, Queen University Belfast, UK, MSc TESOL in 2016 up to 2017. Okay. Yeah. There are so many things that I think you will be sharing with your friend here. So welcome home and hope that we all will have good time and have a great time in this seminar. Thank you, Bugir and Bugir. First, Bugir is the presenter, and Bu Berta, Rindang Berta Fariski, for your sharing letter, and then Bu Girindra Putri also, Girindra Putri, for making this webinar is possible. And then also I'd like to also to thank all the people behind the scene, like Pak Anam, Bu Pak Agung, and I'm sorry, I think all of the committee that I couldn't say one by one. And thank you very much, and have a good and a great seminar. Thank you, Bugir. My Bugir, I mean. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you, Pak Widi. Yes, it's a bit confusing, yeah, Pak, because we share the similar names. So both of us have similar names. Actually, three of us, because we are in one family. So I, Arda, and also my another brother. So we have similar names. So for
unfortunately, I was. I often came to your home when you were still a child, maybe even before Arda was born, but no one knows me, but your dad and your mom knows me very well. Okay.
Okay, I'll send your best regards to them. Okay, so for my students also, so for this seminar purposes, since my sister and I have similar name, so we would like to call her Arda because I am more famous here, so I will use Girindra and then we will call her Arda, and also we have also Mbak Rindang. So a little bit about them. So why we invite them? So the department invite them, not me. So Bu Fatma has to push me a lot to make Arda comes to this seminar because I only say Bu Rindang aja, but Bu Fatma say no, it has to be two, like one from education and one from literature, but not my sister because I don't want to, like everybody look that I am better than her, like so. So I say, no, we can call other alumni. And then Bu Fatma mentioned, no, I want to have someone coming from the same year of intake here, and then they are friends, so they know each other because we want to show the students that you have this kind of a relationship with friends. You have this kind of relationship with your friend you can use to, let's say, maximize your potential and also to help each other, because in these pandemic situations we have online learning, so our friends not here with us, they are far away. We have gang, kita ada geng ya kalau di campus ya, but we cannot meet them. So how can we still meet them? But not only for gibah purposes, but also for this kind of other positive purposes. So that's why Bu Fatma successfully forced me and makes me invite these two young ladies, those two alumni, to come here to this online seminar. So welcome Mbak Rindang and Mbak Arda. So
Thank
let me
you.
a little bit about Mbak Rindang and Mbak Arda, but later they will just tell about themselves to the others, to you all, to the students. So Mbak Rindang and Mbak Arda actually graduated, actually the year of the intake are actually the same, yeah, 2011.
11.
Okay, 2011, and then they also struggle together to
Yeah.
enroll to the university for their master
Yep.
degree, and then they learn together, they struggle together for their IELTS. And I heard from some people, not from only from my sister, but from all people, other people, that Rindang here especially has a very good achievement, yeah, in IELTS. So it's kind of let's say unbelievable. I don't before
I don't know about that.
you that you can do that. Can we know like your score for your IELTS test?
The
Mbak Rina?
first IELTS test, in the first IELTS test, I scored an overall 8.
Mhm.
And then the second one,
Yeah.
I got 7.5, sadly.
Oh, okay. Why in the first one you got 8? Because you are our alumni, so that's why you get better when you are
Yes,
graduated. Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
So after some years after you graduated from here, and then you kind of forget us, the
Yeah.
lecturers. Yes,
Yep, I forgot a lot of things.
Mhm.
So yeah, I got worse.
And then I also heard that you get 9 for one band, or maybe is it true?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I got an 8 for listening.
got 8 for
I
listening.
don't even know how that happened.
Mhm.
But yeah, it was very surprising. I don't know.
8 for listening, and then how about your speaking?
I can't remember, but I think I got a 9 for listening. I get a 8.5 for reading.
Mhm.
For writing, I got a 7.5 if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
And then the other one I got a 7 probably, or 7.5. I'm not sure.
So your ear might be very good, yeah, because you got 9, straight 9. So
I
that's
don't
good.
know.
Okay, how about Mbak Arda? So we have different story here. Rindang has this very good achievement, and also for Mbak Arda here, you get all actually straight for band, and then you can enroll to your university. But you got struggle in this writing test, but then you make sure that you can pass the writing test of IELTS by working together with your friends. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so actually, you cannot ask my score because it's not a good example for students. But I take the IELTS test. I have to admit that, and maybe it's to motivate all the students here. So as Rindang maybe understand me well that I'm quite struggling in writing. So I don't know what happened, but my writing at that time was only like 5.5 on the first trial. And of course, it's like I cannot pass the university with the score. So it's how to say, yeah. After that, I joined. We have like a group studies here in at that time.
Yeah. We have a study group studying
Yeah,
IELTS
with
together.
many students that also struggling to take IELTS test. At that time,
Yeah.
LTD scholarship is quite popular. So we
Yeah.
are working together to achieve that.
Mhm.
Every night we learn together. And
Yep.
then what I do is actually because I have Rindang, I have at that time also my friend named Jeffrey from education. He is also very
Yeah.
nice. So I always do the writing task, then I give it to them to try to how to say like remark me, giving me mark, checking on my
Yeah.
writing and this,
Giving
and
you
then
feedbacks.
yeah, giving the feedbacks, and they always say like, okay, your problem is like they try to analyze what's my problem. Actually, like for example, you lack on accuracy, so they will try to fix it. So yeah, my friends really helped me a lot in that hard process. But then the sad thing is that I left them first because I'm the one who succeed
Who got the
like
scholarship first?
to get the
You
scholarship first.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the story, I think. But thank you very much for everybody who helped me behind.
Okay, so that's a little bit about them. So what we want to underline here is not how they will teach you to get IELTS, but more like on how they can individually, autonomously can maximize their potential by helping each other, and also how you yourself can maximize yourself, because now we are working alone in our own home, and sometimes our friends are far away in other cities, so we have to push our own potential to get what we want. That's not only for IELTS test. Their
Mhm.
target at that time are IELTS tests, and also on how to get scholarship. So they make motivations letter, and then they make the CV and everything to get the school overseas. But you, for the students here, some of you want to finish your final project on time. Some of you want to finish your assignments on time. Some of you are maybe in the process of IELTS also, like what our speakers here do. So this is not for you, for us to teach you how to do IELTS, but more like on how to maximize our potential. So we talked a bit about IELTS before, and then I would like to tell students. So, Mbak Rindang here actually finally able to enroll to University of Bristol, yeah,
Yep.
Bristol. And Mbak Rindang here, what makes us surprised as the lecturer in English department is that Rindang here is coming from a literature study program, because we
Yep.
have plenty of students going abroad from our education
Mhm.
study program, so it's not new, it's not a new thing. But for literature program, I think it is kind of breakthrough. Before, our literature program students, when they kind of give up uh, to enroll themselves to other countries university, and then they will end up enroll themselves to the linguistics program. But Rindang is actually here able to prove that you are coming from English literature and you can
Yep.
go to other countries, get your master degree in literature program. So this is a kind of breakthrough in our department. And then also Mbak Arda is finally able to go to Belfast. Ini adik saya tapi saya lupa nama kampusnya ya. Namanya apa ya, Dak ya?
Queen's University Belfast.
Iya, University Belfast. Then we will never know, like we are trying to struggle together. We try to motivate ourselves and also our friends together. We work together, but we'll never know. Arda who actually got many helps, able to go first and left Rindang behind, and then Rindang actually come to England a year, a year after that. So it's all
Yeah.
kind of process. Okay,
Mhm.
so we will go to next questions is about, so since you are all two of you were our alumni, so we will talk about a little bit about our your journey here in this department, in this campus.
Mhm.
So have you ever like felt like that you have to maximize your own potential, like when you do this kind of process, when you do your final project, and then you
Mhm.
have to keep up with your own timeline, let's say for example.
Yeah.
So can you share to our students here, how will you manage yourself to get to this point that you able to graduate on time, and also how your struggle to meet our lectures for bimbingan skripsi, let's say for example.
Yeah.
Ketawa ya, ini ada yang aneh, kenapa ketawa gitu kan, kita bilang lecture
The
for bimbingan
struggle was
skripsi.
real.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
It
was
was hard.
okay. Let's talk about your past, let's talk about your
Yeah.
experience. Okay, so who go first? Arda, Rina?
Ada, would you start?
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you very much.
uh-huh.
Actually, I know maybe Bu Fatma is somewhat there, but thank you very much. I have Bu Fatma at that time as my one and only supervisor. Actually, at that
Mhm.
time, when it should be two supervisors, but during my era, I think Rindang also, maybe we only have
Yep.
one supervisor.
Yeah.
The problem is at that time, Bu Fatma is nearly have to go to Hawaii for short course.
All
And
right.
yeah, so it's like compete with the time, but that makes me
Mhm.
work harder. And I'm really grateful to have Bu Fatma because she helps me a lot. But the problem is actually coming from myself at that time. And maybe some of the students here also finding the same struggle issue. Because I was, maybe all of the lectures at English department understand me, how busy am I back then. I followed so many student activities, like I am the English debater at the time, and I flew a lot to many cities, moving this, and then I joined also like freelancer for ESA, and I always become their host, like MC in every occasion. And then I follow many things. And back then I'm the socialita. I think all of you know that I always like go around and around, play there. Yeah. So that's my actually
That's
my
true.
issue. And also I at that time I was debating coach for some schools. I felt how it feels to get money from myself. So it's really challenging for me to keep up with my on-time graduation. So the problem is how to manage my own time at that time, how to make a commitment to myself that I should finish on time. And Bu Fatma is a kind of person that always say, you should do this. Like, where are you? If I get lost for 2 weeks, she will call me, where are you? And this. So it was like a very happy situation also, because then I need to be strict with my own schedule. So what I do is actually to manage my own time. Maybe Mbak Kirindra, as my sister, know how I manage my time. Like I wake up early or I sleep late just to finish everything. So I make sure in one day I reach my goal. And how to do that is always to commit to yourself that you can manage your own time. So if you want to keep access in the world, you want to still get money, you want to still get the trophy, but also you want to graduate on time. It means that it should come from yourself and doing the commitment, and it's very, very hard. And maybe Bu
Yep.
Fatma also understand well how I always like trying to finish based on the deadline. For example, she say only 1 week, then 1 week I have to finish. Either I'm not sleeping, either I'm not playing around, but I have to finish. So the thing maybe for me is about the time management and priority, which one should come first, and try to manage because I want to get everything. So I have to struggle on that issue. I think that's what maybe. I can
Okay.
suggest.
So the point is that to know your target in that
Yeah.
week or in that day. So if you have this kind of target, like I have to finish chapter 4 by next week, so you can go play around and everything. The
Yeah.
point is that by next week it has to be ready. So kalau ada 7
Mhm.
hari ya, Dek, ya, dan kamu punya pacar, terus kamu bisa main 6 hari, terus hari yang itu kamu garap, malamnya kamu kumpulkan. So that's
Yeah,
to underline what Arda mentioned mungkin ya.
that's true.
And then Rindang, do you have any other strategy?
So what I do was I literally write down everything, my workloads, everything that I have to do in a piece of paper, and then divide it into bite-sized chunks. So like I divide them. If I have 7 days, then I will divide everything into 7 days. It makes the workloads more, doable. It's not as daunting because writing a chapter, that's hard. But if you tell yourself that you have to write at least 3 pages in a day, that sounds okay. That sounds possible. So that's what I do. But I think the hardest part is to be disciplined. It is hard. I think we are all struggling, especially in this pandemic. But I think it's possible. It's not something that it's not hard. We can do it. Arda and I can do it, so you guys can do it as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so first of all, so I can underline here that you have to get to know yourself, yeah. So Arda is more like a not really structured person. So in our world, there will be
Yeah.
a person like that. So you can
Mhm.
choose other style, but if you are kind of an organized one, you cannot push yourself to follow other strategy, but you can just try to make it possible for you to do every day. It's not only for your final project, yeah, and also for
Yeah.
assignment.
It's for everything. It's so for everything in life. I do that all the time.
Yeah.
So Arda and Rindang also kind of mentioned about priority. So maybe because this is assignment, so we have priority as like whose lecturers goes first, and then
Right.
whose lecturers have a faster deadline than the other. Which
Yep.
one is actually should be submitted first, maybe. And then coming to that talk, there is a very interesting questions from one of our lovely student. So the question is like, I would like to ask for both of the speakers, so it goes to you too. Do you really love every lecturers? Every lectures, not lecturers ya, not lecturers, lecturers.
Okay.
Nanti soalnya yang
Lectures.
ya takutnya kalau lecturers mereka kan sukanya sama saya aja gitu kan. Jadinya nih
Oh,
they really love lecturers when they were students, and did they ever got a problem about their score? Okay, so do you really love all of your lectures, and then also how about your scores? Ya, let's say kita akan linkkan sedikit dengan how will you like say if you love a certain lecture, and then of course you will put yourself into it, will work really hard to get that. But how about the thing that you don't really like, something that you don't really like, you don't like to write, and then you have to write this kind of thing. Okay, so please Rindang, you can go first.
I can say there are some lectures that I didn't like. That's for sure, but I'm not telling which ones. But what I did was actually I just did it. It's hard. I mean, but because we had to submit something, the quality probably wasn't as good as the other lectures, but I did it. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I just thought that it was an assignment. I had to do it. I had to submit something, and like I went through this study. I went I went to UNES for myself. It's not for the scores, you know. The scores that I got on my transcripts, those are all for me. So I think that this is not something that all students agree, because some students do their assignments for the sake of their teachers, their lecturers. But I never have that kind of mindset.
A very nice perspectives. So don't think that we want to pass or graduate, or let's say to get a good score for the lecturers, but for ourselves. So let's say we have this kind of dreams. I want to go abroad. I want to work in a, let's say, another country. So I want to work in PBB, let's say, for example. And then you will work hard to get this good score, not for your lecturers to like you, or not for your transcript, but you need that transcript for you to get your dreams. A very nice perspective.
That's true.
Myself, I never think that way. So thank you, Rinda. Okay. Oh, Bu Fatma. Oh, Arda, ini ada Bu Fatma. Tadi kamu ini ya ngomongin di belakang ya. So now you have to say something and say your thanks to her, because you can become this way because of her, and you can discuss a bit about your experiences. Okay, Arda, you can answer our students' question.
Yeah, so I think that what makes Rindang become the best student of literature in my graduation time, because she has very good perspective. So for me, if you ask me, do I have someone I don't like, I mean the lecture itself, the answer is actually maybe it is don't, I cannot say I don't like, but maybe I don't like the subject. I think it's better to say. So the problem is that for me, I think it's obvious, and all the lecturers, I think, agree with my statement, that during that time of study there, all the lecturers that teach me the practice skill, I mean the active skill, like speaking, like those that needs my ability.
Speaking, writing.
No, only speaking. Writing is not.
Okay, only speaking. Okay.
In terms of like speaking, presentation, teaching, and all those, they maybe always be happy to have me as student, and I will love the lecture and I will love the subject. Why? Because I think that I feel like I'm good at it. But for the lecturers that teach me grammar, writing, they must be hating me and struggling, you know, because I'm not good at it. And I hate the subject and I hate the lecture because I. So for the students here, I think the good suggestion now is like, because this the example is like this. I don't know if Pak Arif also there. I'm afraid to talk, but this is obvious. Like Pak Arif at that time taught me 2 subjects at the same time, speaking and writing, if I'm not mistaken. And he said to me at the time that for your speaking score, I can give you like, if I can give you A+++. But for your writing, it's really hard to do, and this is why. So that's the example of maybe students here, you don't, it's not about you don't like the lecture, because at that time I have same lecture, different subjects, and I like Pak Arif in speaking class, but I don't like Pak Arif in writing class. So it doesn't mean that you don't like the lecture actually, but maybe you can try to analyze yourself that maybe you don't like the subject because you feel like you cannot do the subject. It's not about the lecture, it's more about you yourself. So I think that's the thing. Because even if the lecture is quite very disciplined, very, how to say, give us a lot of
strict
works to do. Yes, strict. But I can love her or him because I'm able to do the work. But maybe the lecture is very funny and give us a lot of fun activities, but because I cannot do the subject, so I feel like I don't like this subject. I don't like the lecture. So I think that's the thing that we should underline and check in ourselves. Like, is it really you don't like the lecture, or you don't like the subject, or maybe you just like feel like you cannot do. So I think that's what I can say about this thing.
And if I may add, if you do not like the lectures or the lecturers, you need to think yourself. Like, will you be okay for having bad scores just because you don't like the person or the lectures? You know, what we're saying is just like, it's an assignment. No one likes assignments, but you have to do it. And while you're at it, why don't you just do a good job?
Yeah. And also to tell to the student that actually, if you think that Mbak Rindang can say that because she is very great in the good score, you have to see me now because I'm not a very very good student. You know, even at the time, it's a one fun fact that I was graduate from UNES with 3.47, so I'm not a cum laude student. But then I can graduate from Belfast with distinction. So it's like a fun fact to do, and maybe in
That's
this
true.
yeah, so it's like, because at that time I was as I said to you, yeah, maybe like you here feel like I don't like this subject, as long as I pass the subject it's fine. So
Yeah.
I think for if all of you to think that I'm not struggling, you were wrong. Also at that time I was struggling a lot. So
That's true. I have to say, I didn't graduate from Bristol with distinction. So Arda did better than me.
Okay, thank you very much, you too. So we have a very good examples here, yeah, because their life is actually quite vice versa. When Rindang got a very good score when she was in undergraduate, and then Arda got a not a quite nice one, and then for the master degree, Arda got distinctions, and then Rindang was not.
I
So
just got
that's like
married, yeah.
okay. Me too. I got married too, but it's no problem. Rindang.
Yay!
I didn't get distinction. I got married too.
Oh,
Okay.
shoot!
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you very
You
much.
got married with a D.
Uh-huh.
You got married with a D.
I got married with a T and D, so I did both.
Oh, okay. Alright.
Jadi kalau di luar negeri ya, students, itu nilainya kalian itu distinction, and then merit, and then pass, and then fail. Jadi kalau kita bilang merit, it's not kind of me having husband, ya. That's our score. Very good students because we only got married. But jangan ditiru ya, bagian itu jangan ditiru. Okay, so online seminar, I can tell the students that we are here to talk about our experience. So some of are actually a good one. It can teach you better to become a better one, but also it can show you gitu aja ternyata aku santai aja bisa kok. So you have to try to get to know yourself, yeah. That in every struggle, we want to show you here that if you were not actually an outstanding student, don't think that you will never reach the best in your life, because some fun facts that we have here is that we had this kind of students who were not quite an outstanding one, but because their struggle was actually consistent, so they can be more successful than the others. But we have this a very outstanding students in the past when they were in undergraduate, and then after that they feel like, oh, I am a kind of clever student, and then I am having a good score. My score in my transcripts is actually straight A, or I am a cum laude student, and then it makes them loosen their motivation. So when they are kind of reaching their dreams, they are not giving their maximum potential, not their best. So their success was actually not like the one that they dream of. So still you have to know yourself, and then you have to know what your dream is. Now my questions about dream: do you know what you want to do back when you were a student? So that's actually one of our students' questions. Texted me privately here, wants to get to know you from you about your dream. Do you know what you want to do before you were students in our campus, when you are students in our campus, or after that? Okay, please. Arda?
Okay. Yeah. As I told you that I'm okay. today, like I feel like I always put my bedside, but it's okay as your lesson of life, yeah. So maybe my sister knows me well, and that actually I'm a kind of person that live just with the flow. If I was like the type of person that will say, okay, let me do at that time it was like SPM PTN something like that, and
Yeah.
I don't know what I want to do actually, but I only have a good score in English, and that's my one and only ability. I cannot count, I cannot remembering things. I'm an IPA student, but I cannot do anything at all. So it's like only that. So if you ask me if I have dream before I enter the university, the answer is no. But because my father is lecturer, my mother is lecturer, my sister at that time is also in English education, I was thinking, oh, let me go with them. That's my life. So I never have a goal. For me, as long as it makes me easy and happy, I take that. So that's what I do. After I enter the university, then I start to like, and I know my potential. Like, oh, I love public speaking. I love to speak in front of people. I was working as a like MC for festivals since high school, and it's quite challenging to talk in front of people as a lecturer, as a teacher, not as like public speaker. So I start to love teaching also, and this. But then I think most of you here also feel like sometimes it's changing. You want to try something else. You look at someone and you feel like I want to be like her. So at that time, my goal was I want to be a like curriculum developer, something like that, in like let's say British Council. Those are NGOs. So I want to be like that. And then I really don't want to be a teacher at that time. I don't want to be a lecturer at that time, especially lecture in UNES. I don't want to be because I have another Girindra. You will say, ini Bu Girindra yang cantik atau yang nggak cantik. So I don't want such kind of thing, you know. So then I say to myself, I don't know what I want to do, but in my heart I say, let me try to be a lecturer, because for me lecture it means that I still can do other things, like not only teaching, in my memory at that time, in my understanding at that time. So then until I graduated, actually, to be honest, I'm quite not sure what I want to do. Maybe my sister know. I have a LinkedIn. I try to find the job, what kind of job related to English education that not teaching, because I'm afraid of teaching. And then after that, I was in my master degree. And in that time, then I was sure that maybe this is a good point to be a lecturer. So that's why I pursue my master. I finished the master degree. And after I come back, I start to looking for my job. And thank God now I can say that it's really my dream comes true, because I'm teaching in a vocational school for English for tourism. So it's not a very formal English that I'm afraid of, because of I'm not a good structure people like person like Rindang, but then I'm teaching something practical, yeah, something like that. So if you ask me if I have dream or not at that time, actually my dream is only one, that I want to go abroad. I want to take my master in teaching English, so that it will strengthen me, because I know that my score in undergraduate was not enough and my knowledge undergraduate was not enough. I was kind of student that only sitting in the class, trying to be active, listening, asking many times, so the lecturer will pinpoint me, this is an active student, and also counting, let's give her A, because actually I'm not that good. So that's why I said to myself, if I want really to be a lecturer, then I have responsibility to teach other person children. So then I need to get more and more. So I need to be serious this time. So that's the thing. So my dream comes in the middle of my journey, not at the start of my journey.
Okay, thank you. Ini mungkin berita bagus untuk para Komting ya. So, hey Komtings, are you here? So, if you think just that you are actually doing something good for your future. So maybe you will get something good in your future. If you are not going abroad for your university's master degree, maybe you will get a good job, a brilliant one with a good salary and a beautiful wife, who knows, or a good husband, who knows. So for Kompeng, please, this is your faith. So you have to work hard to serve your friends. Okay, thank you very much, Arda. So what we can learn from what we can learn from what we can learn from Arda here is that the dream, you can find your dream somewhere. So just let it flow, and then one day when you think that this is it, so that is your dream. So for you who hasn't know yet about what your dream will be and what about your future will be, so don't get stressed, don't think too much, because sometimes this will get to you. So the dream will get to you. So what you can do is only to do the best for everything. Okay, so how about Mbak Rindang here? Do you have different story?
Mm, when it comes to dreams, I feel like I always have dreams, but they're always general and far-fetched. So for example, when I was at UNES, I was like, okay, I wanted to work in an international setting using English, probably teaching or literature. So I'm thinking about working in a publishing company or something. Um, Even after I graduated from UNES, I didn't even know that I wanted to go abroad for my master's. So the idea was just there because I saw my friends, including Arda, trying to learn IELTS, get a scholarship, and I was like, why don't I do that? So yeah, and even now, after I graduated from Bristol, getting my MA, I do still have a general dream, but I'm still, figuring things out. And the thing is, I believe that it is okay to dream, to dream big, to dream in a very general perspective. Like it's okay. You don't need to figure things out right now for the next 5 years. Just do what you can do now. Be happy. Do your assignments. That's it. Well, that's how I live.
That's a good one. So you are very realistic, yeah. So say like
Yeah.
me, like I am working here, whatever kind of job that they give to me, so I'll just do because that's my job.
Yep.
And then because you are all students, so the assignment is your job. The things
Yeah.
that's your job that you have to do, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yep.
that's very realistic actually. So I want to inform the speakers and also all of the participants that because we have so many students who want to join us in this online seminar, but our Zoom is only for 100 participants. So we also have this YouTube link for the other students who will not be able to be with us in this Zoom. So for them who are in Zoom, or for you who are not in the Zoom but in YouTube, in our YouTube channel, if you want to ask questions, you can just type it in our YouTube chat, and then our committee will bring that questions to me, and I will read the questions to the speakers. Okay, thank you very much. All right, so we will go to the next phase of your life where we talk about your journey until you get your school, until you get to your university. And this is actually both of you are in Europe land, yeah? So it's not like it is written or maybe prescribed or planned, but it just happened that both of you.
It just
were-
happened that way.
Okay, so let's talk about your university life. So, but before we talk about your university life, I would like to read questions from one of our students. So this is also about on how you get to your campus abroad. So good morning. I would like to ask questions. I find a lot of people that study abroad, they prepare it for a long time, like years to prepare. Want to go to study abroad, and I just had this kind of desire to study abroad recently in this short time. What should I do to reach that dream? What should I do first? I actually still confused what to do first. Thank you. She is not actually written like in what semester she is, but let's think generally. So she might be in third.
The 7th semester?
Okay, maybe seventh. So three, third
Okay.
or seventh semester. So let's take it general. So if this is a very short time, and then our students want to go to abroad to get their dreams, and then what they should do first, because sometimes people just confuse what they need to do first, and after that they just can let it flow. So do you have any suggestions, Barinda?
I would say do not rush because it won't happen. I can assure you. The thing is because universities abroad have different intake periods. You know, in the UK, the intake was in my year, it was in September. But then I'm sure it's different in different countries. So I think what you need to do is to research the country that you want to go, the universities, and the major that you want to learn in university for your masters. Research on IELTS, that's for sure, and learn. Make sure you get the scores that you need in one go. And for different majors, they have different requirements when it comes to IELTS. So make sure you check on that as well. Yeah, I think those are like the most basic steps that you need to do. Arda, if you want to add.
Yeah.
Arda, do you want to-
I think what maybe Rinda can also explain here is that her experience that actually at the time I think you also took at Gajah Mada first before you came to Bristol, right, Rinda?
Yeah.
So what we can learn here is actually how to say, even if Rindang is quite a very brilliant student back then, but to get the scholarship process and also to get especially scholarship, it's quite challenging and you don't know what will happen. So what we can share to you is actually to always have your plan B and prepare for the worst. I mean, like it doesn't mean that you are late to go abroad, it means that you fail, because many of my friends I have to told you that I have to tell you that actually I'm the first student from English department, I think, who go abroad. And why? It's because my preparation is quite long. So I started since the semester at that time. That's why I can go faster to any, right? And why? I know that I'm not quite a brilliant student, so I will struggle with IELTS, of course. And then this thing is maybe need a lot of preparation. That's in terms of the international standardized test. So you need to prepare. And after that, special due to this pandemic, because now also I'm struggling to get my PhD. I know the condition that a lot of scholarships are delaying, like LPDP until now it's not open yet. So it doesn't mean that you have to stop, but it means that you have to know and monitor the scholarship itself. And even that, if the question is that you are really, how to say, too close to your target of scholarship, for example, or you really want to go abroad, then maybe you have to prepare for the plan B itself and keep trying, because most of the case in our batch at that time, Yarindang, is that a lot of students want to go abroad, but then they stop after their first trial. They feel like, it's too short the time. I don't have the time. Then they choose, okay,
That's true.
let me not try. So that's the thing that
Mhm.
I think it's important to learn. And I
Mhm.
think what Rindang took, I think it's a good strategy. Is that okay? So well, I cannot go there, so let me before I go, I still have time. So Rindang, I think you took master in Gajah Mada for a while.
Yep,
And you,
yep.
maybe you can share that.
Mhm. Yeah, that so going to a university in Indonesia was my backup plan, obviously, because so I applied for the scholarship twice. I failed the first time. So after the failure, I was like, okay, I'll try this next year, but I don't want to just sit around. And like God knows whether I will get accepted or not. So what I did was I applied for the scholarship and the university. So I applied for an MA at Gajah Mada University as well. So yeah, I applied for the university first, then the scholarship. Apparently I got in. I got in the literature studies at Gajah Mada University, and then I got the result for the scholarship. I got in as well. So yeah, I mean, what you need to do is to just prepare. Don't rush. Have several backup plans. Do not let the failures get you. Okay, like it's all right. It's okay. It's totally fine. As long as you do your best, you can take pride on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So maybe if you are still like in a long semester after this, you better prepare for now. But if you are
That's
really,
true.
really to your target of going, then maybe the
Mm-hmm.
backup is really needed to keep yourself still feel
Yeah.
like life must go on, not just keep.
Mm-hmm. And I think what's really important as well is to be honest and realistic. So, for example, you're in your seventh semester, you're doing your final project. It takes a lot of time. Um, it's even hard to meet your supervisor, um, go to the libraries. It's impossible now, right? So, it's just like be kind to yourself, be realistic. It's all right. Things probably do not go your way, and that's okay. You're young. It doesn't like you have to get everything the next year. It's all right. Just take your time.
So, sorry ya, ini sinyal saya mati nyala ya, maklum ya. Okay, thank you. So what we got here from you is to be prepared, is to be realistic of what you can do first, yeah, and also where you are right now. If you were still in early semester, so you might be can learn about IELTS first, and then
That's
if you
true.
are already in this seventh or ninth semester, so maybe you can just, well, let's say you have to rush, but you have to know what you should do first. Like say IELTS price is also not quite friendly. Yeah? It's very expensive because it's using dollar
It's expensive.
currency.
Yeah.
So that's why we have to prepare our best if we don't want to kind of waste your money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
That's true.
sorry, I have to ask my partner to send back all the chats because I've just lost my connection, so I lost all of the
Mm-hmm.
chat. Let me check. Okay, I get it already. Thank you. Okay, so thank you for both Rindang and Arda. If you still have questions, students, you can send it to the chat both in Zoom or in YouTube. We will just read it out for you. Okay, talking about your journey to get to your master degree. Actually, that was my questions, but the students have asked to you, and then you kind of spill it to us that it was not a smooth journey. Rindang also had to go to Jogja, UGM, and it was
Yeah.
also like 1 year you have to learn there, and then also you will
Mhm.
get experiences from UGM
Yeah.
also. So what we can
Mhm.
underline here and what we can make notes here is that whatever this life show you, so let's just take it as one more lesson that you will get in
Mhm.
UGM. Maybe you will know some people that will be beneficial for your future.
Yeah.
Let's say
Mhm.
they maybe will give you some sort of, let's say, link to you to get
Yeah.
to a
That's true.
better future and experiences and also opportunities for
Mhm.
you to get in the
Yeah.
future. I think the same also goes to Mbak Arda, ya, because Arda's journey is actually very struggling in in getting those IELTS tests. Thank you, Rindang. Yeah, you also help her, and then but it also makes her better in writing skills and also in grammar skills, because right now she has to teach it. If we had no IELTS before, and then Arda maybe will not work as hard as before, so she will not become who she is right now. Mungkin sekarang ngajar grammarnya salah-salah ya, kalau dulu IELTS-nya langsung bagus nilainya ya.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. So that was your life, and then you also need to make this kind of motivation letter, and then
Yeah.
this kind of many kinds of letters for you to get the scholarship. In
Yeah.
despite also you have to become part of your social life. If
Mhm.
you ya kan ya if you want to get this kind of scholarship now, is not only your intelligence that they want from you, but also your social
Mhm.
skill. So how
Yeah.
will you
Yeah.
work with those two aspects, preparing those documents and then get yourself to have this kind of role in your social life, in your community,
Mhm.
and how this kind of community factor supports you in getting what you have? Can you just tell us a bit about that?
Okay. Can I try
Yeah, you
first?
go first,
Okay,
Arda.
yeah, we go first. Okay.
So the how to say, I feel like I'm the luckiest person on earth at that time back then, because me and my friends, all we are struggling about the scholarship, and universities are actually never feel like we
Mhm.
are enemies, or we have to go first and have to win this. No, we are really helping each other. That's why we
Mhm.
share all the motivation letter examples,
Mhm.
all the document examples. It's like, how to say, we call it like generation by generation email. So if somebody need that, I need to forward it, and it's forward, I
That's
think,
true.
15 times already, because it's like, for example, my friends got examples of motivation letter, so she will email me, and then Rindang will
That's
come
true.
to me, ask, you have the examples, I will
Yeah.
send somebody come to Rindang. So we help each other a lot. We think that
Mhm.
it's not about who win the competition, who will go
Yeah.
first, but it's about you and yourself, right? It's more about
Mhm.
destiny. So we are helping
Yeah.
each other, very friendly at that time. So maybe this
Mhm.
is also you can apply, guys, because your friends here are not your enemy in terms of that issue, but not about assignment. Yeah, don't forward your
Yeah.
assignment to your. But if you got the good sources like book sources,
Yeah.
got the like IELTS material at that time. Also, we have a G drive downloaded by someone,
Mhm.
and someone will continue to distribute this G
Yeah.
drive materials for us. So
Mhm.
we share all the materials to learn about IELTS and scholarship to all the students that need at that time.
Mhm.
Until
Mhm.
now,
That's
our
true.
university still come to me and ask, Mbak, can I have the document? And we share all to them, like, don't
That's
care.
true.
Yeah, so we just
And if I may add, the friendship that we have is actually a part of the social life that Mbak Putri mentioned,
yeah.
because social life is not only in your neighborhood, uh,
Mm,
but uh, in the campus as well.
yeah.
So yeah, just be kind, just be attentive, just listen. If you know someone needs help and you have something that can help them, just help them.
Yeah, you're right. And then also we at the time in yeah, as my sister said to you that we have to at that time we have to submit a document proof of social activity
That's
in our
true. Yeah.
and you know it's also in terms of how you engage with your friends because for example me now I have a community named Arimbi Solidarity and some of my
Mm-hmm.
friends go abroad they say can I help you in your community, can you support me like give the letter of improvement
Mm-hmm.
that I joined your program. I say yeah. So that's the importance of having a friends in a good relation
Mm-hmm.
because
That's
maybe you
true.
one day and it's not about you only come closer to me because you need me. No, it's about networking and
Yeah,
helping each other.
that's
So that's
true.
what we can share. Yeah, the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in the process of doing the IELTS and scholarship preparation, I think we share all the things all together.
Yeah, that's true. And that's what you were talking about was what happened in the campus. But for the scholarship, I think we have to do something in the neighborhood as well,
Yeah,
if I'm not
yeah,
mistaken. Yeah.
yeah,
So um, just be sure that you do something for if especially if you're in your early years in the university, do something, start an initiative, work with your neighbors or your friends. It doesn't have to be big, just just make sure that you are involved um, in
yeah.
initiatives that develops your society basically.
At that time, I
um,
only bring the Pak RT, the letter from my Pak RT because I
yeah.
was
Mm-hmm.
that's also like simple thing that
Yeah, it was
matters.
just simple. Just make
Yeah.
sure that you show up. Do not just do not solely care about your education or your hanging out with friends. Do something for your community. You can start now. It's never too late.
So to become like an autonomous person when we want to succeed in those, let's say, our school, our assignment, final project, and also our
Mm-hmm.
dreams. So we, by this kind of word autonomous, which means it will be
Mm-hmm.
independent, it doesn't mean that
Yeah.
we have to be solitary. Yeah. So by being autonomous, meaning that we have to be involved in a society, and then we have to
Mm-hmm.
autonomously push ourselves to
Yeah.
get to know people, so we can get our help come to
Mm-hmm.
us, not come to us. Sorry, that we can try to seek for help
Yeah.
autonomously. So by being autonomous doesn't mean that you can finish everything, your assignments and your dreams, everything by yourself, but to how you have to autonomously trying to find the right person to help you, the right person to be friend with you, the right person that has similar dreams with you, that can share similar purpose of lives, let's say, for example. Yes,
Mm-mm.
something like that. Okay, thank you, Rindang and Arda. So now it's time for us to read questions from YouTube chat. So this is like my first questions, become this kind of operator or moderator. Then somebody has actually sent these questions to YouTube chat, and then we read it for the speakers. Usually people chat in having question in YouTube chat is actually not being acknowledged, yeah, but we want to acknowledge our students. Okay, so this is one of our students. He is a he, yeah, so he is a male. uh Sorry. So he wants to ask you this one. Hi guys, I would like to ask you, how do you guys build your confidence when you were students? So I'm kind of a shy person. I'm not really confident in speaking. So how
Mm-hmm.
can I build up my confidence? Okay, please.
Mm-hmm. I would say
Rina or Radia? Oh,
find your friends.
Yeah.
Just befriend everyone. Be sure you're kind to them. But then obviously you cannot befriend everyone. Just like make a circle of close friends. Make sure you guys have um, same things in common. You have you want to achieve the same things. For example, you want to practice English outside of the classroom. So like gather everyone who wants to do the same thing. It can be daunting at first, but it's easy actually. Ada.
I feel like, yeah, okay. Well, I'm quite of too, how to say, too extrovert. I think I was like,
You are the opposite of shy.
yeah, you're right. But what I believe is that every individual is like different and special.
Yeah.
And what as the example, good example is Rindang and me. We are very different in everything.
Very, very different.
What's similar from us only like we both are Leo zodiac. Yeah?
That's true. That's true.
Completely different. So the thing is that you don't to be afraid to make friends and try to communicate with them, because it's okay to try, and then maybe they will be like, I'm not much with you, because it's quite happened a lot also in my life. Like I'm
Yeah.
being friend of somebody, but then I feel like, but what I can suggest to you now, because I also become a lecturer, I understand well that sometimes, for example, in the class, students are just, for example, we say, okay, please find your friends, work in a group, then you will come to the lecture and say, I don't want to work in a group. Saya nggak dapat teman, I don't get the friend. No one wants to work with me. So this is your first challenge for me. I always tell to my students,
That's true.
in your social life in the future, either you are living in surrounding neighborhood, either you are in the middle of community, or either you are maybe inside of your job, you cannot say to your boss that no one wants to be friend with me. Please, no, right? It's like you find your destiny, like you find your jodoh. No one
That's
can
true.
like care to you if you're not showing up. So the thing is that try to use the opportunity while you are still studying at the university as your trial, as your trial process. So if your failed, it's okay, but at least you try. So if your lecture, the simple example, if your lecture say make a group consist of 3, then try to get those 3. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you can just take share and help them, not always say, I don't want to make a group, I rather work in individually. No. And the second thing is always like, don't be insecure, don't feel like you are the victim, because maybe you are the one who is really hard to approach.
Yeah.
So the suggestion for you is just be, I know it's hard to be confident, but at least try to make people acknowledge you by maybe just simple like make in a group, then you show how hard you work in a group, how difficult to have you inside of the group, how you can also contribute. So I think that's the thing that you should try. Under the push situation, like in the class, you should make, and it means that you should do that also as your trial process, and it will bring a good impact in your life, I think.
Yeah. And I'd like to add something. So confidence starts with yourself. And there's no way something that works for me works for you. So you have to find your rhythm, what works for you. And it takes years.
Yeah.
It takes years to discover. So try different things. So for example, you want to practice your speaking, but you're not confident, you're shy, you're afraid of making mistakes. I said, just gather a bunch of guys and speak English everywhere, or just via text. It's all right. If it doesn't work with you because you don't have friends or anything like that, try Tinder or Omegle, or I don't know, just find things that work for you. Try different things. It takes years and it's all right. But that's how you learn.
And I think in this nowadays, like if you feel like you are not confident to speak with your friends, the one that know you, you can try to speak with person who don't know you at all. So you don't need to
A stranger.
a stranger. Maybe they will like how to say respect you more. So you will feel like then you are ready to come to your
Mhm.
real word. I think
Yeah,
that's
and don't be afraid to try new things. For example, I said Tinder. It was a controversial thing to say in a seminar, in a campus. But let's be real, everyone uses Tinder now. You can have access to it. And I feel like if you use it for the purpose of speaking English to a stranger, it's totally okay.
So it depends on the purpose, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, of course. Of course, obviously. Oh, she's freezing.
Yeah.
Yes. This kind of this kind of, let's say, math or say proper amount. So it okay. Can you hear me? Because our
Yeah.
signal is actually quite okay.
Okay, now you're
Sorry.
moving.
We have no students here, but I don't know why. Okay, I move back. We have no students here, but I don't know why this Wi-Fi connection is still not good. Yeah, we have no students. The connection should be better, but no, the reality, the connection is still like this. So I'm so sorry for all. Okay. Thank you for your answers. Okay, so what we have next? So this question is coming from, well, let's say this is actually not for Rindang, but for Arda only.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sorry. Because ini ngelak ini di sini soalnya.
I think
Okay.
our house is better, yeah.
No, it's the problem here. Okay. Before we get to next questions, I would like to say, so when you want to become more confident in speaking English, actually, so what you need to do is not by speaking those English language, but first you have to be able to be confident in speaking first, yeah. So not only in English, but in any language, in your language even. So you have to be confident first. So first be confident, and then be confident to have new friends. If you haven't got any ability to get people to come to your group, and then meaning that you are not confident, or you haven't got any confidence in you. So first get friends and try to talk to them in any language that you have. And then after that, when you have a little ability in English, it will follow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
Okay. So I have this question similar to that previous question. What the speaker's opinion about someone who has a good vocabulary and good writing skills, but when speaking is very difficult. And when a person has practiced, he feels there is no improvement in speaking, so how to do? So we would like to link this to how to we becoming, because we also have speaking subjects, speaking courses. So how when you were a student and then you want to be able to speak, but you have to learn by yourself, and then you have to keep up with also with the courses. So how will you do that? But your vocabulary and also your writing skill is good. So it's just only the matter of confident in.
Okay. So in my opinion, it's very, very normal. It's something that I expect from Indonesian students actually, because we read a lot, we write a lot, but we don't really speak the language. So it's totally fine. It's totally understandable. So we have speaking classes, different speaking classes in the English department. So what I do is just make sure that I attend the class and actually learn something from the class and learn something outside of the class. So for example, if we're talking about textbook materials, we don't only read what the lecturers want us to read. Try find something, find another articles, find another journals. This is the case if you really, really want to practice your speaking. But speaking is not something that you can only learn, by reading journals. You know the theories, but then if you don't practice, then what's the point? It's pointless. So yeah, that's my take. Ada.
Yeah, I think that it's vice versa with my experiences, but actually, find the same struggle. So
Mhm.
my suggestion for you guys is actually now a lot of, how to say, digital platform that you can use to learn. And the important things is like this. For example, you feel like you shine speaking Bahasa Indonesia, and when you come to your society and surrounding, you can. It's also similar with English. And if because you have a good vocabulary and writing skills, it means that actually it's not about your skill, but it's mostly
Yeah.
about, like jam terbang, like
Yeah.
practicing, and
Yeah.
also.
Lack of practice, actually.
Yeah. So what I suggest is that now try to find you can join like a lot of volunteer program, for example, that will force
That's
you to
true.
be in a community that force
Mhm.
you to speak English. Or maybe you find
Mhm.
you join, like now in my faculty, I run a summer school program. So actually there are a lot of summer school happen inside
Mhm.
in of us and for students. So you can join that program. The aim of the summer school, for example, in Undip itself, we have summer school in every faculty, is that to improve the speaking skill, confident, and to
Mhm.
create students atmosphere that they are inside.
Yeah.
And this summer school is open for everyone. So I think a lot of universities also have this kind of thing. So just
Mhm.
try to get friends from another country. Why? Because you are get forced to be able to talk,
Mhm.
to be able to
That's
speak with
true.
them. It's like,
Mhm.
for example, me and Rindang, maybe we go abroad and we're forced
Mhm.
to understand, we're forced to
That's
talk.
true.
Yeah, and it's also happened to me at the time that I live in Belfast. It's Irish. So instead of having British accent, I have Irish accent. And it's also quite hard. But because I get
Yeah.
forced to speak, then I
Mhm.
can. So my suggestion is to make yourself forced a little bit.
Yeah.
Join those kind of activities that push
Mhm.
you to talk and to communicate with them in English. The bonus, maybe you can get friends, best friends
That's
from
true.
all over the world. You get the
Mhm.
cross-cultural use, which
That's
will,
true.
of course, your speaking skill will get improved. And
Mhm. Mhm.
don't waste your potential of good vocabulary and writing skill,
Mhm.
because that help
Yeah.
you speaking actually.
And do not afraid to make mistakes. I think that's the one thing that people fear the most, making mistakes. It
Right.
is okay. Even the teachers make mistakes because we are always in this phase of learning. This life is a journey full of learning. It's all right to not afraid of making mistakes. Be proactive. Find things that can help you or friends, applications, forums, websites. Um, find something that works for you. There are helps out there. And like to not rely on the classes that you get in university because it won't be enough. Never.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
language, there's just too much to learn in language. So yeah, find something outside of the classroom.
Agree.
Uh, this actually led to so this is only for Miss Rindang. Question is actually related to what you just mentioned, which is about mistake. So I would like to ask a question to Miss Rindang. How could we believe ourselves when we know sometimes we make many mistakes in life? See, so how can you trust yourself that you are actually doing the right thing when you actually make many mistakes in your life, and then so you have this kind of difficulties in trusting your own self because the mistakes that you've done at the past. I don't know why it's Rindang, yeah? And also nice to see you, Miss Rindang.
Oh, who is it? Do they know me or something?
I don't know. Actually, this is coming from YouTube chat.
Okay. So, if I'm being honest, I feel like sometimes, well, right now, especially, I feel like pursuing a master's degree in literature is a mistake. Let's be real, because the possibilities of job opportunities are really, really wide. But then because it's too wide, it's hard to get a job, especially on something that I really want to do, something that's related to literature or development, national development, or education. It's quite hard. And if the question is how to not doubt myself, I feel like I'm the kind of person who doesn't really regret anything I do in life. And the reason is because I always do my best. And this is linked to what I said before. I hate some lectures, but it doesn't mean that I will get lazy and I will submit the assignments. No, I won't do that because I have standards. And my standards is always to do my best every time, whenever possible. That way, I won't have regrets. I won't doubt myself. The mistakes that happen, it's all right. It's a part of learning. If I don't make mistakes, I don't learn. And I feel like if someone is afraid to do wrong, to make some mistakes, in the long run, they will fall way harder than they should be. So let's make small mistakes along the way, but we don't fall too hard, too deep.
So please let us make mistake and keep believe in ourselves. Yeah, we can say something like that. So never disbelieve yourself, because that's the only thing that you have that will never lie to you, which is our own heart and also our own things and logic. So
that's true.
All of them are actually let's say the thing that will never lie to us. So something that will
and it's really pointless to doubt yourself.
We have so many questions here related to confidence, especially about public speaking. Another question is about on how. So this is this must be from one of our education study program students, because he's asking about, let's say, I would like to ask about skill for people who want to be a teacher or lecturer, and also all other jobs, but especially for those two. So maybe this goes to public speaking, where you are not only talking to your friends, but when you are talking and then many people look at you and listen to you. Yeah. So so some of us want to become a teacher or lecturer in English, of course, but they feel like their speaking skill is not too good enough. How to solve this problem? So it's not chatting, but more like talking to many people. So how to solve this problem? Because they feel like they don't have this ability to do this kind of public speaking for teaching and lecturing. Okay, please, both of you.
Well, so the thing is that if you want to become a lecturer and or also a teacher, the first main point that you should have in your mind is that you will always be in front of many people no matter what, and you should be ready of the spotlight given to you.
Mhm.
And my suggestion is that try to practice talking in front of many people. And the way that maybe can help you is that try to be active, um, not only in English, but start to create your own behavior. I mean, personality in terms of be confident to be in front of somebody, because maybe even if your speaking is very well, but if you will never feel confident to talk in front of people, it's different because English skill and public speaking skill is actually quite a different. For example, maybe you have friends that she or he speak English not quite well. I mean, a lot of grammar mistakes. And maybe you feel like it's not good the content, but he or she is very confident. So that's the point of the difference between public speaking and also this. So my suggestion is to in how to say, not only to get better in your skill but also get better in the your own personality and confident.
Mhm.
The way that you can do is the small thing. For example, if you are living in neighborhood and you go out, for
Mhm.
example, and your neighbor is coming, try to be better. Try to
Mhm.
say hi, try to, open yourself up. Because in the class, you will face a lot of students with a lot of characteristics. And
Mhm.
sometimes it give you a pressure because you want the spotlight. So the first point from my suggestion is to be ready to make yourself as the spotlight. So for
Mhm.
example, you are in the class and you are doing the presentation, for example. So what you should do then, be ready as the spotlight. Or now
Mhm.
in this online situation, something like this, you can just try to, like for example, join like this seminar, and then you try to
Yeah.
be, for example, you have chance to ask direct, then try to ask direct, so to open
Mhm.
and be ready to make yourself as a spotlight. And being a spotlight doesn't mean a bad thing, I think. Like, you
Yeah.
be a good spotlight too, yeah. So it's
Mhm.
be confident and be ready. I have to say that be ready as the spotlight itself. And how to do that's the autonomous learning, because you should learn by yourself. You should understand.
That's right.
And
Mhm.
tips are maybe like always try to be a good version of you. Like if you are good looking, if you are, I mean, not should be beautiful or handsome, but you dress properly in every occasion, you are ready with the material that you should say or talk when you have
Mhm.
talking, and then you're practicing a lot. It means that you make yourself ready, then everything will handle well, like before you
Yeah.
think, you prepare the material, then you can have
Yeah.
whatever you want. So I think that's the
Yeah.
key.
Um, so like I think the ultimate answer to the question is practice. But
Mhm.
then to practice, there are a lot of things that you can do. One thing that I need to add is that some people are afraid of making mistakes, and
Yeah.
some others are afraid of looking silly. And
Exactly.
I think like it's just don't do that. Stop. You need to stop. Here's the thing in IELTS, my speaking is natural. I would say my grammar is okay. I sound natural, native like. Um, but then the content, the content was bad. That's what Arda taught me to do. And what I did, which is I talked to myself, not only in front of the mirror, while driving, in the bathroom. I do all these silly things, and it helps. It helps a lot because I have time to think and rethink the feedback that Arda gave me. Oh, so I
Yeah.
need to do this. I need to say these words instead of these words because this is a slang. This is not okay in a formal situation. I have to show that I have a wide range of vocabulary. those are the kind of feedback that Arda gave me, and I practiced it in a different ways, that and like it's I was never afraid to look silly and do it just wherever and whenever. And also
Okay.
like to add, sorry, when it comes to teaching, being a teacher or lecturer, speaking is an asset. No, it's a necessity. You have to good at speaking. But then let's be real, if you're not as good as other teachers, it's all right, because it takes time to be a good teacher, to be a good speaker. Just do it first. And then to make up of your quality of speaking, make up with other things. For example, use asynchronous learning applications, resources. There are different things that you can do as a teacher or a lecturer to deliver good lectures.
Okay. So what I like from what you have mentioned in these questions and then the previous questions was when both of you kind of trying to let your juniors know that please force yourself. Like when you say, if you cannot swim and then throw yourself to a sea and then you will swim
Yeah.
Yeah,
because you need to
that's true.
save yourself. Yeah, that's true, right?
That's true.
So
Yeah.
when your fear, most fear is actually to talk in public. So put yourself in a public, and then
Yeah.
you will have this kind of intuitions to save yourself from this kind of embarrassment. You will talk. See,
Yeah.
so when let's say when we were first becoming lecturer or teacher, it's different with let's say talking to your friend
That's true.
in a kind of community. When we are in ESA, let's say for example, when we have rapat ESA and then we are talking to all of our
That's true.
friends, it's very different with when you are coming to this kind of classroom and then everybody looking at you
Yeah.
with their face, with their kind of this face like they want to like give you kind of very hard questions, or maybe this kind of blank faces. So don't think that lecturer or teacher are not afraid of students. We are afraid of you.
Yeah.
We are afraid of your blank faces. Because when you are having this kind of blank faces, and then you will think like, we cannot teach well, that we cannot, what we say is not really understandable, and etc. So it's not only the students who have fear, they are not able to talk when
Yeah.
they are having speaking test, but also the teacher. So every time we are having these senses to talk in the classroom, so it's like, oh, what did I do? Like they are all blank. Okay. So thank you. So force yourself. Okay. To the next phase. Hey, hello. So before we go to the next phase of your questions, ini ada pertanyaan khusus untuk Arda, bukan buat Rindang kali ini ya. Ini pertanyaannya untuk Guru Hara aja ya, sambil kita pindah phase ya, pindah phase. Ini ada pertanyaan ya. Arda, how do you feel when you are right now a lecturer and your parents are also lecturers? Is it nice to be someone who is the same as your parents? Because we want to accommodate all questions, yeah? So we are not actually picking. So we will ask all questions. So maybe some of our students here also have similar experiences and also problem when you are say in the same area as your parents, or let's say you are overshadowed by your parents, or let's say your siblings. So what will you do? Thanks God that he doesn't mention sister. Yeah, it's only parents.
Who asked this again?
Huh?
Who asked this again?
Someone in YouTube chat.
Okay. Well, for me, become an overshadow one is since I was born, I think, because I have my sister here, and she actually we share the same how to say hobbies. We share the same ability. And when it comes to English, then I have to compete with, not compete, but actually she came first to the word. So of course she joined the English department first than me, yeah.
Mhm.
And being the overshadow here is for me and her is not only about skills, but also about many things. Like your sister
Mhm.
behaves nice than you, she is more sweet like this, and you are like, but yeah, sometimes it's me winning, sometimes her winning. So maybe for students here, you take English education because your parents are also teachers. I think
Mhm.
it happened quite a lot. And
Mhm.
about my parents, I take that as opportunity instead of taking that as a burden. And of
Mhm.
course, because another Kirindra is there in UNES, and we are sharing the same English program, yeah. But
Mhm.
like me, now I'm in a vocational school focusing on tourism, so we are now quite different. But I took that
Mhm.
as an opportunity. For example, in the last year, we share how to say, like a class. We make a research together about, it's about like my students are acting as in customer service because they are learning like English as a customer service, English as tour guide, something like that. And
Mhm.
English student of my sister, I think maybe some of you are here, they are acting as the customer. So we took the
Mhm.
opportunity to learn, because my student need to be a professional. It means that if they become professional, they need to never know who is the customer who call, how to serve, what they should do. And the students from UNES are they only need to practice speaking English as the customer, then that's enough. Then we
Mhm.
collaborate, collaboration project about this issue. So I always take that as an opportunity instead of as the burden for me. So I work with my sister doing the research together, and this and this. And with my parents also I do. For example, my parents are art lecturer, dance and music. So when my father, for example, he is very good at research. So what I always do is to help him get like a journaling, like a Scopus issue and this is because he is not quite good in English. So I translate and proofread. But for me also, he helps me a lot because he's the one who checked my ideas, my
Mhm.
point of view about research. Is my idea good or not, and this and this. So for you all, maybe your parents are also in the same job with you. Don't take as a burden, like, and you think like I have to be better than, no, but try to collaborate, try to take the knowledge that they have, because maybe we
Yeah.
are updating in terms of knowledge, but in terms of experience, I believe that they are
Mhm.
better than us. So I think that's the thing. But then, like, sibling, for example, I'm lucky because we have a different type of face, maybe. But if you and different type of body shape, so it's not obvious that people will see, you are the sibling. No, because at that time, this is as a joke English lecture there. Some of them are not acknowledge me as her sister until they read my name. So it's like, yeah, but she never overshadowed me. I'm better at everything.
Mhm.
Follow my Instagram, I'm more active and famous compared to her. So you need to. But the thing is just to try to collaborate with your families also. I think if they are in the same job with you.
Okay, thank you, Arda. And now after I deliver my baby, so we have similar body shape, yeah. So I will overshadow you in at any time. People will get to know that we are siblings because we now look similar. Okay. Okay, the next phase is about on how you finish your assignments and also your final project on time by yourself.
Mhm.
We are not talking about your graduate program final project, undergraduate
Mhm.
program final project, because you had shared before at the
Mhm.
very first beginning of this online seminar. So you mentioned
Mhm.
about having a timeline, you mentioned about you have target and etc. So what we know here is that you did your master degree in Bristol and also Belfast, and we all know here that in other countries we are not actually supervised as we were here. So what we did was actually doing our own time to try hard and then also to struggle with our own master's degree dissertations. And so we only have this kind of opportunities to meet our supervisor for only like 2 or 3 times. It's not 8 times like what we have here in UNES, yeah.
Yeah.
So in most of the time, we have to try to finish all of our work alone by ourselves to we have to sometimes contact our supervisor through email or let's say our Moodle, or here we call it Elena. So the funny thing is that right now in UNES, after this pandemic situations, we actually have similar situations. So we cannot meet our supervisor in person. We can only contact them through email or WhatsApp. And then what we do is actually doing our final project alone by ourselves and
Okay.
trying to get all those sources by ourselves. It is similar with what we did when we were in Europe,
Yeah.
didn't we? So what you can say as a kind of suggestions or motivations for your juniors so that they will trust themselves and also they can become an autonomous writer and also references seeker, because though they are not being supervised by their supervisor at any time, but we still want them to produce any high qualified final project. So do you have any suggestions? Anybody? Rinda?
Ada, can you start?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's correct that in UK we have very limited times to meet our supervisor. It's just because they want an original work from the student.
That's true.
And to put too much ideas from your supervisor there is categorized as something not original. So that's why we only meet them 2 3 times.
Yeah.
Perhaps. So for me myself, actually it can be both beneficial, but also sometimes yeah. It's challenging. And the issue that we face is quite more difficult compared to here because we don't do defense. So we only submit and they get scored. So we cannot
Yeah.
make our argumentation when they feel something is not good there.
Yeah.
So at that time, little bit, I think little story for you is that my supervisor was sick, and then it's like maybe 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I'm got the vacuum of power at that time because no one supervised me. But I need to keep going because my scholarship is limited, right? So then my friends almost finished. They almost go back to Indonesia. Well, I still stuck on the library, do nothing. I mean, like no one supervised me. But then I'm keep going. So my suggestion for you is that this is your good time to how to say, to improve what you actually want to, no, not to improve, to maximize what actually you want to write. Because sometimes it doesn't mean that me supervisors many times not having a challenge. No, guys.
Yeah.
At that first you have to waiting for them to come in the middle of the
That's
room.
true.
Then they will text you like, sorry, I'm from I don't know, from 7 in the morning until 12 in the afternoon. You are waiting, but it's not coming, for example. So it's also an issue.
Arya, you can maybe speak louder because azan is actually
Okay.
approaching. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I said that actually it doesn't mean that if you do the online, I mean offline version, it's not challenging because you will wait for your supervisor and this and this. So the good point of having online is actually you make sure that your supervisor read your works because they only have your paper instead of your face, right? So that's the issue that I want to underline. That it is your good time to do the final project online because they will read.
Mhm.
You will focus on your paper instead of your face, instead of your makeup, for example, it's too much, instead of your hair is long. So try to use this opportunity. Suggestion for you: try to not only depend on your supervisor, but also to yourself, to your friends to check your work, and then try to not only depends on your the printed materials like library, because you have the online libraries with many trusted sources,
Resources.
yeah, and free, and the journals
Mhm.
updated. So like, try to improve that, I think. And try to always remember that maybe this gut helps you, because if you are in offline, not everything is the same. Because your supervisor also busy, maybe you're home and you're far away, and suddenly your supervisor cut, you can be meet 5 minutes after this. So this is your good chance actually to do the supervising issues.
That's true. That's true. I think it's a blessing. So it's an opportunity to do everything by yourself,
Yeah.
because you don't have to run everything through your supervisor. All you need to do is write a chapter and submit it to your supervisor. And like the problem is, what do I write? That's your questions. That's our questions. But you have the resources. You cannot complain about that. You have your resources. What you need to do is to read more and write more, and that is your problem. Um, and that is why the theme of this seminar is being an autonomous student, because it's something that you can do by yourself. I think what's really important is to make a timeline for yourself. Be disciplined, be committed. Do not be lazy. If you need to read or write, do it. Do not procrastinate. Um, and what else? I would, for me, having the opportunity to do everything from home while being assisted through email is, I think, more than enough actually.
Yeah.
So it is not a problem. It is not a problem, especially for you guys who want to continue your study abroad for your masters. You better start now. Because things are going to be way harder when you pursue your masters. I would say inside or outside Indonesia. So yeah, do your research.
So we have to become an active researcher, yeah, and also learner. So this will be, I have one last question because Jumatan will start soon. So we can hear this
Okay.
break. Okay, so one last question. I'm from our students, so I can see both of you are kind of brilliant students back then. So how your friends see you? Did you ever get any different treatment from your friend because of your intelligence and also brilliance? So pernah nggak sih temenmu tuh ngira kamu tuh cupu gitu kan ya mungkin ya? Atau kalau nggak mereka males gitu karena kamu suka nanya di kelas misalnya gitu kan? Let's say ya. Okay.
This is a personal experience. I can relate to this a lot because the thing is, if Bu Fatma is here, she knows. I got scolded a lot because I used to wear t-shirts and ripped jeans, and like I didn't dress properly. It was a problem, and it was so bad until one of my friends said to me, and I'll say this in Indonesian because I think it's better if I tell this in Indonesian. He went like, Rindang, kenapa sih kamu kok kayaknya kayak celananya sobek-sobek, rompang-rompang, tapi nilainya bagus, nggak pernah belajar, tapi nilainya bagus. Kok gitu? It happens. It happens, and it's just, for me, it's the way I dress and probably the way I talked. And for others, I'm sure it's because of their looks or because they were just so shy, or they were just so loud, like Arda, for example. You know, it's everyone's problem. There's always something that people can pick from you,
Yeah.
but I would say don't take it as your problem. Just be kind to everyone. If they're not kind to you, it's not your problem.
You cannot
It
please everyone,
happens.
Lorinda.
That's true. It happens and it will always happen everywhere. So I guess, yeah, this is my line. Always do your best and let your work speak to others.
Not your clothes, ya, Rindang.
Yeah, know my clothes.
Okay.
Yeah, what about you?
For me, maybe different stories that I don't know. I don't know. I'm so confident. I feel like everybody loves me. And at the time, I was like counting angkatan. So you know, like
All right, yeah. Mhm.
ketua KKL and this. So I do quite a lot of things.
Yeah.
But you prove to everybody that you are the very best at the leadership. For
Yeah.
example, like me, that you're struggling a lot of because
Mhm.
everybody knows that at that time I'm a good debater, for
That's true.
example. But still, people will say bad to you. For example, at the time, I got the beasiswa PPA, and I'm an active student. So if you want me to submit 10 certificates, I can give you 20. But still, my friend come to me and say, of course you got the scholarship, and I'm not because you are the daughter of somebody from here. So those bad things, those bad words will still coming to you, even if you are tiny and everything. So
Yeah.
if your question is about whether I have challenge because I'm a brilliant student and this, well, actually the problem is that people will always think that maybe you get a good thing not because of you are struggling, but because of you are someone, but because of you having something else. So that thing will always coming to you. And my suggestion is just like prove to them. Now I prove that I got scholarship from my master. So what will you say? I'm the daughter of the menteri or something? Because I'm not. Right? And funny stories
Even
that
even you Arda masuk Undip dikira anak dekan Undip ya, Dek?
yeah, that's true. When I approach Undip, many people come to me and say, jadi ini anaknya dekan UNES. Well, my father never became a dean, actually, at all. And at that time, I was like, oh my God, what else? So, it's
Yeah.
something that will always happen around you guys that just prove to them, just prove that you
Yeah.
are good. At that time, I was there. I never sleep. I always practice in B3 Park until 1 in midnight, and maybe she already sleep in the house. But she texted me out like, hey, kamu dapat scholarship orang anaknya ini. So yeah,
Yeah.
don't take.
That's true. Just like trust the process, do your best,
Yeah.
take pride in your effort. The rest is not your problem. It's not under your control. So just let it be. It's all right.
But maybe the very basic suggestion for you is also if you don't want people to judge you, like don't judge people like that also, right? Because
That's
you know how.
true. That's true. That's true. You have to start from yourself.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. Don't judge people because people will judge you, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we learned a lot from from this online seminar, I have provided the link for today's attendance list in Zoom chat room and also in the YouTube chat room. So you can make sure that you are listed in that list, because we will send the certificate to your email as listed in the attendance list. Okay, so before we start, because before we finish ya, mau start aja terus ya. So before we finish this online seminar, so we learned a lot from these two speakers about don't underestimate yourself. You have to motivate yourself. You don't only need to become an autonomous writer, learner, speaker, but also you have to become an autonomous motivator for yourself.
Yeah,
Tapi ada juga
that's
yang
true.
jangan dipelajari ya, kayak Rindang itu suka pakai baju bodol-bodol ke kampus, itu jangan ditiru. Atau Arda yang sangat sombong sekali ya, confident-nya keterlewatan juga jangan ditiru. So we will only take some good things from Rindang and Arda. Terutama yang mahasiswa sastra diajar Bu Fatma, jangan pakai kaos sama celana sobek-sobek ya. So that's what is most important from Rindang. Bu Fatma datang, Bu Fatma datang.
Don't do it. It's not worth it, okay?
Listening.
Ngajarin jelek ya, Bu ya? Ngajarin
Can I
jelek
say
malah di...
something?
Oh yeah, sure, please, ma'am, please.
Well, Rindang and Arda are
Yeah,
students that can be, that can inspire other students to do something better, I think. I know Girinda, I know Arda very well because she was one of my, well, she is doing her final project with me, and I know she is such a hardworking student. She knows her capability. I mean, when she feels that she cannot do something, then she will try hard to make it happen. This is what I like very much from her. And from Rindang, I think, I know that I used to say a lot concerning with your outfit, Rindang, that, you are still, okay, I mean, it's okay with your outfit, but you are very polite. I mean, the way you talk, the way you think. So it can, I mean, you can make it balance. Although, yes, I agree with Kirin that you have to consider about your outfit when you come into.
that's true.
Okay, that's good. This is what we have to highlight, Bu Girindra. Thank you.
Understandable, Bu Fatma. Good to hear you. It's been a long while.
Yes. Yeah, miss
Do
you
you miss Bu
all.
Fatma? Bu Fatma is far more beautiful than before.
Oh,
Really?
Really?
Haven't seen her in a while.
More beautiful.
Oh, she ages like wine.
Yeah, yes, that's true. That's true. This is the point. Yeah. Okay. Poisonous. Wine is not poisonous. Wine is nice. Yeah. It is kept longer. Okay. Thank you, Bu Fatma. So Bu Fatma is now our coordinator for literature study program. So she's more like the mother of all our literature students.
Yep.
And also we have Pak Widi still here with us. Pak Widi is our head of department and also our coordinator for English education program. And then we will start our courses next semester on Monday 7th. So this is a very good start for the students to be motivated and also to have dreams before they start their real life on Monday, on 7th of September. For students who joined also our other online seminars yesterday but haven't got any chance to list themselves in our attendance list. So you can just text me privately and I'll give you the link for our yesterday's online seminar, because there were only like 79 students filling our attendance list. So we still have some students who haven't uh, filled the attendance list. So we cannot send the certificate to the students. Okay, Ridang and Arda, do you have any last statement or anything to motivate your junior, our students, and then
Yeah.
make them have more dream or dream higher, and also to make them more confident in facing their course on Monday, starting on Monday.
Ada, do you want to start?
Okay.
Oh, okay, Arda.
My suggestion is no, not suggestion. My final remark is that I sometimes become a motivation, like not motivation. I become a speaker in some motivational session for going abroad. But the most
Mhm.
important is that your daily life, you feel like everything is fine. Like me, I always feel like my life is fine, my life is flat, everything is good. I don't see any challenges, you know. And maybe some of you feel like economy, I'm struggling in terms of connection now because of pandemic. I don't
Mhm.
have Wi-Fi system. My house is in the middle of the woods. This.
Mhm.
They should that you have those challenges. They should feel so grateful that you should know and you set your limit and doing it. But for you
Mhm.
having those
Arda, your voice, please speak loud.
oh yeah. But for you who feel like you don't have anything in your life, you don't have challenge in your life, be careful and don't jangan terlena. At that time I was there. I feel like my life is
Mhm.
fine, I'm happy and that's it. Because actually that will kill you. What you need to do to motivate yourself and never feel like you have problem because maybe you are the problem. So
Yeah.
be grateful if you have many challenges because that will push you. And for you who never
Mhm.
feel like challenges, just be careful and try to reach
Yeah.
the best. Jangan terlena. That's what I want to say to you.
Yeah. Well, from me, I would say remember that whatever you're doing, it's for you. It's for your sake. So work hard, do your best, and I would say be confident of who you are, your work, set your standards, own it, be confident. It's really easy to say these things, but it's really hard to do it in real life. I'm still learning too, but it's all right. Just practice. Whatever you feel you're lacking, just practice. It's all right. Just do it.
Perfect. So be careful when connections is not your enemy.
Yeah.
If money is not
That's
your
right.
enemy, so maybe yourself is your enemy. And
That's
also,
true.
don't be afraid of anything. Be confident and think
Mhm.
about yourself. Don't think about that this is assignments that you have to do, but think that this assignment can bring you to be what you want to be in future. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much,
Thank
Kak
you. Thank you for
Widis,
having me.
Fatma, and especially to both of our speakers who are
Thank
there
you,
with us
Ida.
today. Thank you very much.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Don't forget to take a picture.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
I
right. Yeah, please.
this will be very nice for us as a souvenirs. Yeah. Okay, students,
Yeah.
can you please turn on your video because I want to see your face now because we want to take picture together because we want to make this moment memorable. Okay. So that are your junior. How are they? Aren't they beautiful, handsome? See?
To my
Ah,
face,
promising, right? We have promising faces here. See? Okay,
I'll
students.
take a picture as
Ready?
well.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
In
Okay.
the next 4 years or 5 years, maybe you will be one of them, being remember that this day is
Yes.
the day when you start having your dreams. Nah, okay. Ada yang sambil jalan, ada yang baru pelan-pelan, that's fine. So that's what makes offline learning beautiful, ya. Bisa kuliah sambil bodoh. Alright. Okay, thank you very much Rindang and Arda and also
Thank
everybody
you.
here. Students, sekarang kan sudah kelihatan videonya semua. Kalau ada yang mau ditanyakan untuk besok kuliah hari Senin, saya kasih 5 menit sampai 7 menit. Ada pertanyaan, mumpung ada Pak Widya, ada Bu mau ditanyakan misalnya gimana Mem caranya hubungin dosen hari pertama atau gimana Mem caranya? Ada yang mau ditanyakan kah? Ada? Udah ada? Bernih, saya hitung ya, 5 ya. 1, 2, 3. Ada yang mau ditanyakan? Oh, ini kayaknya banget. Berani nggak tanyanya
Ada
langsung?
yang tanya. Sudah jelas semua.
Bahasa Indonesia boleh ya? Kalau belum pede bahasa Inggris tapi harus latihan.
Iya,
Latihannya
betul.
sama saya mulai hari Senin. Oke. Kalau nggak ada, so please wave our hands together and then I will screenshot this screen. Okay, wave your hands together. Alright. Okay. Aziz, kamu kok kayak bangun tidur gitu Aziz? Ya, apa ya Aziz ya? Bareng Aziz tuh. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye. So we will see you in other occasions. Success in your career and also in your life. And don't forget with
Assalamualaikum.
us here. So we want to ask for your help. So you will be happy to help us again. And we
Of
will
course.
have our class or international accreditation soon. So we might and we will make English department brighter and better. Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Today,
Bye.
wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
dari
you.
Arda.
Thank you semuanya.
Sebentar.
Oh, what?
Yang siswanya boleh left.
Oh, okay.
Ternyata
Everyone's leaving.
Ya, bye. Thank you.
Oh, udah, okay.
Ya.
Bye.
See you, Anna. Bye-bye.
See you.
Memang 2 jam? Memang.
Oke.